whole different series actually. I mean, two of the teams that actually got out of the first round earlier than I think anybody expected, San Jose and the Vegas Golden Knights, both swept their first round series. Vegas going 4-0 over the LA Kings, and San Jose Sharks going 4-0 over the Anaheim Ducks. Now, obviously, Vegas is an expansion team this year, first year team. Everyone's still a little hesitant to call them to be a good team, but
why?
Well,
I mean, it's not like they just picked up Joe Schmo off the side of the road. They had the expansion draft.
Well, that's the whole thing. Now, people they kind of did pick up Joe Schmo off the side of the road.
Some of them, but Marc-Andre Fleury's not a Joe Schmo.
You're right. Joe Schmo.
Joe Schmo is not a Marc-Andre Fleury. No, he's not. Marc-Andre Fleury's not a Joe Schmo.
Right. No, I mean, he's obviously not. But the whole thing was Marc-Andre Fleury and James Neal were the only players that people really expected here to do anything. And obviously the whole team has done really – James Neal wasn't even in their top 6 players. I mean, William Karlsson, 75 points. You have Marchessault, I think with also 71 points. Either way, I mean, that first round series was pretty crazy between Vegas and LA. Vegas only scored 6 goals, and while LA only scored 3. But the real story was, Jonathan Quick for the LA Kings was one of the top goaltenders in the NHL regular season. This postseason, he has the best stats out of any starter right now besides Marc-Andre Fleury. So the big thing was, Quick is having a fantastic postseason, but he runs into the only goaltender that is having a better postseason than him. Unfortunately, his Kings lose 0-4, and the Vegas Golden Knights head on. Now, the other story with San Jose going over Anaheim, which is obviously another sweep. San Jose Sharks, I think everybody was kind of sitting back and not really worrying about them as a team. I think anybody really expected them to do anything. But in the end, they sweep the Ducks, and now we're going to have Vegas versus the Sharks in a perfect 8-0 matchup here in the second round.
It's going to be interesting to see. Just being from Chicago, I'm trying to deal with the shock of not seeing the Blackhawks there.
Right, yeah. I mean, it is nuts. This is the first time they're not making the playoffs since 2008.
10 years.
2008, 9 years.
9 years.
9 years without them not being our first time found. Yeah, I mean, it's I want to say it's kind of weird, but it's also kind of cool at the same time that you're finally getting to see different teams in the playoffs.
I could see all different teams. I still want the Hawks there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's always fun as a hometown, living in Chicago.
I understand.
Awesome seeing it.
I don't want to become redundant, kind of like NBA. With
you always have 4 teams.
You always have LeBron and the Cleveland or Miami, whoever you decide to be with that year. You got Golden State. And this year it's shaken up a bit.
Right.
Just like in hockey, it's shaken up a bit.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's so crazy to see. Obviously, San Jose Sharks have always been one of those teams that are always on top of standings, always kind of there. They maybe make to the second round, third round, but they're never really a Stanley Cup favorite because they always kind of choke like the Washington Capitals. Meanwhile, you have a newcomer in Vegas who was a top team in the league, and nobody likes it. No one's giving them respect that I think they deserve. And realistically, they have a chance to win the cup in their first year in the NHL, which is absolutely nuts. Crazy. If they won the cup this year, I don't even. There's no words for how crazy that would be. But in general, I mean,
that'd be the new Miracle on Ice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This next series, going with San Jose versus Vegas, 2 teams that have swept in the first round, it's going to be a good one. I think a lot more people are going to be tuning into it and actually seeing how good Vegas is on a higher level, even though they were kind of highlighted this whole season with how good they were. But tonight, you got Washington and Columbus. I'm gonna take Columbus. Second for the other game, Toronto versus Boston. I'm probably gonna go with Toronto because I love Toronto. And Toronto.
I don't want to see Boston advance. I'd like to see Toronto make it far.
Right. I don't want to be the homer, but again, I also
you want to be
don't not want to be the homer and say. No, I collect jerseys. I have 70 jerseys. I felt like I was wearing Toronto jerseys, and I was jinxing them because they lost the first 2 games. I wore a Boston jersey that day when they won the game at home, and the Boston Bruins lost. So I'm not wearing anything today. So I don't know what's gonna happen. They're gonna tie the game 12-12, and
you have your Sox hat on. You were coming on this show, and you don't dare wear a Cubs thing on my show.
I jinxed it. I jinxed the Sox. They're gonna lose.
With the way they've been doing, you might jinx them into winning.
Yeah, but hey, I'm giving them advertisements. They need all they can get.
My hat's on backwards, but you know damn well what I'm wearing.
But yeah, no, tonight will be a fun game. I'm definitely going to tune into the Washington Capitals, Washington and Columbus series. I know Iceman will too.
No, I don't think so. I'll be tuning in too. But right now, you guys are going to tune in to a sports update.